Do you remember when news broke out that Bruce Willis was suing Apple over the right to pass down his iTunes library to his daughters after he dies? Well, it turns out that was a hoax, but as silly as that story was, it still raised some important questions about what happens to our digital data after we die. You probably have tons of personal data, photos, videos, social media posts, and things you share and create with others online. Most of these are backed up on hard drives or some sort of virtual cloud. But do you have a plan to save your data for your loved ones after you die? I don't, so that's what I'm trying to figure out today. The first problem that I wanted to tackle was music, but that turned into an impossible task without spending tons of money on physical media or becoming the best pirate the internet has ever seen. Same goes for movies and TV shows. If you buy digital copies, you don't actually own the film, just a license for your account to stream it, so don't plan on passing on those ones either. Honestly, passing $3,000 down to your kid to give them 30 years of Spotify doesn't seem like that bad of a deal. Photos and videos, on the other hand, we actually own those, so they lend themselves to being backed up on a backup drive. You could store your files online, but I bet your iCloud is already full, so instead of paying for more, I recommend storing your files long term. First up is the easiest, which is to buy an external SSD storage drive, not an old school hard drive. These drives may be cheaper, but they're more likely to break. So for safety's sake, we recommend using the SSD drive to load your memories onto. Just make sure to keep it in a safe place. Do this twice if you're worried about redundancy. Personally, I really like the Samsung T7. It works pretty well, it's super fast, so I can edit on the go, and it also comes in a rugged version, which is water resistant, which is pretty handy. I really like them. These drives usually have a lifespan based on use, suggesting that if you only use it once a year to load your photos and videos onto it, it should last at least 2 lifetimes. Right now, this costs around $200 for 2 terabytes, but I expect that cost to come down over the years.
Hey guys, it's Brad from the editing desk. I was putting in that piece of B-roll. I noticed there's a lot of scam hard drives on Amazon right now. I don't know why, but if you see one that's like 16 terabytes for $100, it's a scam. Don't buy it. Just stick with like 1 terabyte, 2 terabyte, 3 terabyte drives, and you'll be fine. All right, back to the video. See ya.
This is probably the most crucial moment of the video. If you have important photos in the cloud, make sure you share your passwords with someone. I read a story about a man from 2020 that had to spend like 7 months in litigation with Apple just to get access to his wife's iCloud account after she was murdered. Without getting too much into it, one way to do this is to use a password management app like Bitwarden, which allows you to share groups of passwords with others, and it's definitely a slog to set up, but it's more secure while you're alive, which is a nice plus, and provides loved ones with an easy way to log onto all your accounts. Getting rid of your social media posts is a little harder, but the best case is to have a plan with a friend so they can use your login information if you pass on to deactivate or send a final post on your behalf. This may sound inconsequential, but if I consider how many subscriptions I have right now, someone will need to cap that off as soon as I pass, or they'll likely be stuck with a few $100s in charges by the time they find out. Still, even after all this, we're only a fraction of the way towards saving our online data. This is also where things can get a little strange. There are services online like Hereafter AI that allow users to load photos and stories into an app that can be accessed by others after they pass on. Microsoft has even recently patented a form of tech that can mimic people based on their social media profiles. Microsoft's plan may be a little bit far-fetched since a lot of people don't act the way their posts online may portray them. However, Hereafter AI is actually an interesting concept and something that, while likely tough to bring up to a family member, may be a good gift to leave behind since it's an easy way to compile stories and everything for your loved ones in one place. It's conversational and prompts users to tell stories and upload photos to keep a big chunk of their memories behind. At $200, it is a gamble banking on a company being around for decades, but the idea of using photos as a prompt to interview a loved one is pretty solid, and anyone with a decent cell phone camera could likely catch some great memories. To take this to the next level, companies like Storyfile are already working on using AI to add a moving mouth and facial expressions to pictures to help the deceased still tell stories, which is a little bit creepy if I really think about it. But from what I've seen from deepfakes in Hollywood, I think this will go from creepy to imperceptible soon. Thanks for watching. Make sure to follow us on socials to get a few extra bits of the story that I couldn't fit into this episode, and subscribe to see our future episodes. I'm Alex Arolano, and I'll see you online.